see the final stages of Crown Green Bowling's most prestigious event. This afternoon is the culmination of 6 weeks of virtually non-stop bowling, and with us you can see the semi-finals and the final of the Waterloo Handicap. And the trophy, well, to the victor it's the equivalent of an Olympic gold or a winner's medal at Wembley. The last four this afternoon have battled their way through a field of 2,048. The dreamers, the no-hopers mixed in with the cream of the sports professionals. A tribute really to the event organiser Tom Bradley, recovering in hospital after a major operation. We wish Tom well. Happily his wife Doreen was able to take over the reins and the considerable responsibility. Well, the Waterloo started soon after the turn of the century, but for our first action this afternoon we go back just 4 years to 1976, to the infamous Water Splash Final. The duellists in torrential rain that afternoon were Stuart Buckley and his opponent Keith Illingworth.
Now 10-18 has really got to perform a miracle. They've got to perform a miracle equal to the parting of the waters in the Red Sea to win this one, Buckley. I think the first prize of £1,000 also includes the water rights for Blackpool for next year, Collins. Run on ball. Won it. Oh, he's let it slip. No chance, almost dropped it out of his hand. Now Buckley, a bit of hope for this lad from Chadderton. There he goes, plays for Coleshire Park, this lad, Lancashire County. And he's counted a double.
Well, will that give him hope? Let's hope so. Buckley 12, Illingworth 18. Remember, 21 up for £1,000.
Oh, he's cobbed it out. That's the thing that they do when conditions get very bad on the professional circuit. He started to cob his balls, and he's left it 15 yards short. That's how bad things are on this green. Illingworth will have a job to get it much farther. Stopped 8 yards. Watch Buckley cob the ball out. There it goes. And he's got some pace on this. He'll win it. Win it now. Good ball. Oh, what a great one.
They really are pitching the wood so it lands about 5 yards ahead of them.
Cobbed it, got the pace, mates. Only one.
It's just died on him.
Died short.
Yes, they're pitching the ball so that it's landing and hitting the green for the first time about 5 yards ahead of them. They cannot just bowl, can they, Harry? They've got to pitch it.
This is known as cobbing. It's a northern colloquial term applied to when conditions were ridiculous, such as waterlogged as they are here now, and they pitch the ball forward. I don't think it does the green any good, but it's the only answer under such ridiculous conditions. Watch him now. He flirt this one out, up in the air. You see that? Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen this for a long, long time. But it's the only way these lads can get pace on these balls. He's got him a bit nearer anyway. And Illingworth's the same. Walloped it down and it's won it. It might even go out. As ridiculous as it sounds. Could well have won that ball. Buckley now winds himself up and wallop. Oh, he might be short. They know he's short. All the crowd immediately sensed that that ball hadn't been got away.
It slipped out of his hand and he actually bowled it very well.
Illingworth's. And this won't do the trip, but might win it. Yes, no doubt.
Well, I think that end really illustrated the conditions these fellas are having to try to play a decent game of bowls in. Both pros, don't forget, both experts, both in the top level of professional bowlers, and they're reduced to almost underhand bowling cricket style. Well, this could be the end. £21 up for £1,000. This is the man who can win it.
Illingworth cobbing the ball out with the red spot, driving its way through the water. Oh, finishing up 3-4 yards short of the jack, and there's Buckley. They know he's short, they've condemned it from hand, he just can't get him any farther. And this is a man that's played for the county, won the Talbot, a great player. It'll give you some idea of the difficult conditions. Well, he's played one this time. A good ball to finish off with if this counts. Superb
that
one.
Must be the winner. The crowd thinks so. They're all packing up and going off home.
Please. Run on ball. Wade in.
And there he is. There's the champion. There's the winner of the Waterloo, the 69th Waterloo. The 1976 21-13. A famous victory in atrocious conditions.
Commentators Harry Rigby and Colin Welland, and with me the victor in that water splash final, Keith Illingworth. Keith, looking back, do you think that you got the credit that you deserve for that final?
On the day, yes, but afterwards, people tend to say that you wouldn't have won it if the conditions had been different.
But you started that final as the favourite. Why do they say that?
Probably through reaching, being able to reach. That's the main thing.
Strength was that important, was it?
It was that day, yeah. There's been nothing like it since. There probably never will be. It was so heavy, you had to reach.
We heard Harry talking about cobbing the balls. I mean, you're throwing them 5 or 10 yards before they even touch the green.
Yeah.
That's something, presumably, you can't really practice.
You practice it very rarely, but on that particular day, I didn't cob them. It was, my full reach was 40 yards, and everybody else couldn't reach that distance. They have to cob them to reach, and cobbing is far harder than just having a full reach.
Your physique was an advantage, presumably, because you were taller, aren't you? About 6 foot, though.
Yeah, 6'3".
Now, it's not going to happen this afternoon. We can see the conditions
Yeah.
here. They look quite bright and quite promising. Would you rather be playing this afternoon?
If I could win, yeah. Yeah, it's nice to win it like that.
Tell me, just put a picture in my mind of what the Waterloo, what the championship means to the man who wins it, because it is the most prestigious thing, isn't it?
It's the most, it's absolutely fantastic. It's the dream of every bowler. But it's the atmosphere out there. The atmosphere is electric. To win it under those conditions is unbelievable.
It must be tremendous in front of a knowledgeable and enthusiastic crowd like that.
It's the crowd that makes the handicap, yeah.
Good, thanks Keith, I hope
Thank
you
you
enjoy it. And so, to the first of our semi-finals, a capacity crowd of 4,500 around this famous arena, every seat sold, every standing space sold weeks in advance. The commentator is Harry Rigby.
This is the first semi-final of this, the Waterloo Handicap, and full draw. Len Higginbottom from Overhulton near Atherton in Lancashire plays Glyn Vernon from Winsford in Cheshire, and Frank Kitchen, he's from St Helens, and he plays Vernon Lee from Blackpool. And now we get underway with the first semi-final between Len Higginbottom, number 2. There you see Len, balls in hand, ready to do battle, and followed by Glyn Vernon from Winsford. Both county players of some standing. Introduced to the referee, Joe Rawcliffe. As number 5 is Glyn Vernon there with the natty semi-claret jumper on, and Higginbottom wearing the number 2 in the striped shirt. Setting the first mark of this semi-final of the Waterloo Handicap Blackpool. Good lead, really good lead from Vernon. As Higginbottom, the favourite for this handicap. Exceptionally good player, very talented player, Higginbottom. Looking, I think, for the long marks. And Glyn Vernon here, a Cheshire County player of over 30 caps. Vernon pegged the chalk at that end. Both the players on 5 starts.
Both these men, Harry, extremely experienced bowlers without actually taking the big prizes.
It's Higginbottom's ball. Just arrived on the scene. Won it.
His opponent, Len Vernon, a Cheshire County player.
This is a real day for these two men, Richard. Looking to get into the final of the Waterloo. Realisation of a dream of any crown green bowler. Higginbottom's already had success in the Waterloo in the spring handicap, where he beat the great #1 bowler Brian Duncan in the final, but he's not won this. Now, I was talking to him yesterday in the late qualifying rounds, and he's you know, absolutely carried away with the desire to lift this title.
Len Vernon's made a bit of a slip with that one, Harry.
He's whipped away around the backside. It's running a bit now. The sun's come out, and the pace of the green picking up all the time, making it very difficult for the bowlers to play a real consistent length. Played one, Higgy, as he's known in the bowling circles. Len Higginbottom.
So a little bit of early patience paying off for Len Higginbottom. Pulling one back. He sets the mark, Len Higginbottom. Behind by just one at 6-7.
Immediately coming back in the country. This is where Higginbottom believes the road to victory lies. Long marks, the crowd urging this on, and they know it's short. Not a good lead by Higginbottom's standard. There's Len Vernon. Cheshire man who's never had a great amount of success on the big circuit, but he's always been knocking at the door. Well respected in the bowling world. Talented player, not quite made the breakthrough, but here he is today on the threshold of perhaps the biggest day of his life in bowls. Higgy again didn't play a good ball, banged into his own, and now Vernon with a chance of a double here. Higginbottom there arriving on the scene. Could be short, he's got a run.
Close call.
1 to Vernon.
So it's early days, but Len Vernon keeps that little bit of breathing space between himself and Len Higginbottom.
It's so important, Richard, for him to get settled down early. He wants to get in front, Vernon. He knows that he's going to be taken a long, long way. Higginbottom gets in, he'll try and find the corners, whereas Vernon's very cleverly cutting the green down all the time. Right in half now he goes, a thumb peg mark, up the crown, across the top. Given Higginbottom quite a ball to beat here, drifting away around the back, gone outside. Pretty fast piece of land, this. Vernon playing this mark deliberately so that Higginbottom can't throw him a long way if he gets in with the jack. Played another good ball. Excellent on this type of play, Vernon. Higginbottom doesn't get in shortly. He's going to go a mile in front, this lad Vernon. He's gone out and left him another double. could be every chance of a big upset here.
So the favourite, Len Higginbottom, there already in a modest degree of trouble. Glenn Vernon, who must be very happy with his start in this first of the semi-finals. 4 in front after claiming a couple there. 10 to Glenn Vernon, 6 to Len Higginbottom.
Made a brilliant start. Glenn Vernon, it's 21 up this game, that's all. He's almost to the halfway figure. Another 11 chalks, see him through into the final. He's led a ball about just a yard short, bit of space to work in. Didn't like that, Vernon. He knows that he's got to play them a bit nearer against this fella Higginbottom. He's got a brilliant record of balls. He's won handicaps up and down the country of all kinds, and here he comes. He's licked it, played a good ball. Higginbottom was even money favourite at the off, and you could get something like 7 or 8 to 1 Vernon. But to give you some idea of the difference the bookies thought about these people.
So the wood lying nearest the jack belongs to that man, Len Higginbottom. You somehow feel that a man with a name like Len Higginbottom ought to win the Waterloo, Harry?
Yes, although it seems Lancashire man, Higginbottom, all this cloth cap image, I don't know so much. He's a Master of Science, Richard, has a degree in electrics and lectures, I believe, at Wigan Technical College. Have to come and mend a few plugs at our house sometime. But he's a dedicated player, obviously. You know, he's spent a lot of time doing homework, etc., in other fields, but he's a great player at this game.
And he's done it again. He's narrowed the lead, held by Glenn Vernon.
Still running, got a chance, got to win this ball. A good wood from Vernon. Higginbottom going for the long corners, left a lot of room, and Vernon not getting rattled at all. Very placid type of player, this man Vernon, doesn't get upset. Higgy's on the bottom side again and drifted away. Vernon there, the quiet man from Winsford in Cheshire, plays for Winsford Liberal Club and also for the Cheshire County side. He's left it on the mat nearly there. Great chance of pegging a double, but doesn't take it.
Vernon 11, 8.
So Glenn Vernon still with the advantage. There's the man in front. Glenn Vernon must surely be happy enough with the start he's made this afternoon. There's the determined opposition from Len Higginbottom.
Vernon again, elected to cut the green in half again. He's gone up towards the middle of the green, shortening the mark down all the time, finds a very good ball, and he lies 2. Counts these 2 chalks, he opens a 5-point advantage over Higginbottom. Higginbottom now got to find one and doesn't do it. Saves one, leaves Vernon 1 to take him to 12-8.
Vernon 12, 8.
So Glenn Vernon must be a happy man at this point of the game, leaving Len Higginbottom with quite a bit to do.
Just heard a shrill shout in the distance there of the bookmakers now altered the odds. Higginbottom moved out to 11-8. Beginning to feel the draft under the door a bit here, Richard. If this man Vernon keeps this sort of form up, Higginbottom's going to have to do some playing. Otherwise, he'll be sat watching the final. Played far enough. Can he miss that jack? He'd go out. Gone by. Here's the second ball of Glenn Vernon's from Cheshire. Just rubbed the jack. Made 2 really good balls. Higginbottom may attempt. He's striking. Higginbottom is going to fire one at this. And it goes. Missed them all, gone out, 2 more to Vernon.
Vernon 14.
So,
8.
could that be a turning point in the game? Len Higginbottom firing at them, missing.
Vernon again picks up the jack. Got the favourite really rocking now, Higginbottom. Got to remember here, Richard, that this man Vernon has kept his cool, he's played intelligently, broke the game down. Nice control over these marks of about 30 yards, swinging them away, gets them away lovely. There's another one. Quietly pleased there. Higginbottom now under pressure. And the crowd shouting here. They know that that ball's no chance from hand. Too far. Vernon electing to get after this. He wants it round about, not too close. Get away from the jack. There's 2 more good balls. He might strike again, Higgy. Letting another one go. Got to crack these. Done the jack. Could easily count the end. It's whipped away down the bottom side. A funny angle. But I think Higginbottom's got out of it. He's out of trouble, Higginbottom. I think he's counted a single here. We get the verdict. Len Vernon there, stood behind his own woods, kicks them in, 1 to Higginbottom. It's the difference of being the favourite. You've got to resort to something spectacular from time to time, Richard.
So some relief for Len Higginbottom, but really he's been forced into a corner. He's been forced into tactics like that by...
He was in some sort of trouble there. 2 really good balls from Vernon. If he goes through the gap there, it's a rapid change in the odds. It'd have been 9 to 4, nearly 2 to 1.
So Higginbottom sets the mark and is not by any means out of the woods yet.
You see, this is where Vernon's tactics pay off. He's forcing Higginbottom to play a mark about 30 yards, which is the type of thing that Vernon likes. Vernon quite happy up to now, but he's got to get in here before Higginbottom gets into the corners. Oh, he's played short. Had a chance there, Vernon. Higginbottom left him room. There he is, number 2, Len Higginbottom from Lancashire. Turned his peg round, come on the top side now, just drifting behind the jack. Live and let live ball, big yard over. Higginbottom doesn't like that end. He thinks that it's a gift here for Vernon to counter ball. The crowd's shouting. I think he might be low. Bit of an inquest going on. Higginbottom got 1 out there. Very, very lucky.
Higginbottom 10.
Vernon really slipped up there.
So the difference reducing in Len Higginbottom's favour. Glen Vernon 14-10 in front.
What a chance Vernon had there to get the jack back and get back in the middle of the green, Richard. He's now going to be subjected to these long raking corner marks, and if Higginbottom makes any sort of a lead, he could be in trouble. But no, still not found a good ball. Great shot of the ball there, going away down the green. Whipping away now, watch the peg. There's a thumb peg mark and he's found one, Vernon. Good ball, applause from the crowd. Dead length, a mark of about some 60 yards. Got to find it, Higgy. The crowd condemning this ball. They think it's short. It's labouring a little bit, but it's still got to go for me. Give up. Second that. The odds already changing there. Shout at 2 to 1. Higginbottom, who's 10-14 in arrears. Here's Glen Vernon, Cheshire County star, with 1 on and 1 to play, and a 4-chalk advantage. Oh, he's not taking advantage. There is just a single.
10.
So Glen Vernon resumes what's been a steady kind of progress in this first semi-final. 5 chalk advantage over the man who started favourite in this game, Len Higginbottom. Vernon setting another of his short marks.
Again, he knows what he's doing, Richard. That's keeping his head. He doesn't want to do anything rash. Playing well within his own capabilities. This type of mark he's excellent at. Higginbottom got to run to win this end, and it's give up second. Higginbottom a little unsettled here because he's not found his length. Normally an excellent length player. In the quarter-final against Mike Roach from Warrington, he played absolutely brilliantly in the corners. And now he can't put a ball anywhere near at the moment. He's travelling again. If it goes round the back, it's 2 more. Vernon 2.
Vernon 17-10.
So a critical stage of the game with Glyn Vernon 17. Len Higginbottom 10, and it's Glyn Vernon to set the mark. Vernon, who has the advantage, looking for about 30 yards.
As Vernon leads. This he's got to play now. He's another good lead. Bit of a chance. Good ball this. Won it. Oh, he needed it, a pressure ball. Got to do it again, Vernon. Run away. Smack on the road, but he looks a little bit to back. Can he peg? He's gone out.
This is Len Higginbottom's chance now to bite back.
All the chalks he can get. In the last 32, he was 10-17 behind.
He'll count 2 here, Harry.
Yes, he's got
2.
a double.
Well, that double couldn't have come at a more important time for Len Higginbottom. Lifts him. 12 to Higginbottom, 17 to Vernon.
Certainly got the lifeboats out there, Higginbottom. He needed them. I say, in the last 32, he was losing 10-17 and ran out. But the way Glyn Vernon has been playing, I don't think he's going to do that here.
Yes, you can't tell what's going on inside the head, inside the tummy, Harry, but certainly Len Higginbottom has never looked particularly ruffled, although he's always been struggling.
No, he's a great temperament. He's a very good player. But Vernon just gives you the perfect answer, doesn't he? Plunks one right on the jack. What a good ball. Chances, picks to jack. Brilliant ball this from Higginbottom. A wonderful ball. Oh, what a brilliant end this. Makes a bit of a dodgy lead there, Higginbottom. He was a big yard short. He's played at the end. He's off the road now. It will hook away on the top side. One more to Higginbottom now.
13-17.
Len Higginbottom collecting the jack there, facing a doer struggle in this game. Closing the gap just a shade.
Died. Look at the crowd there. They're watching this ball of Higginbottom's. A lot of money on this man here today. Back down to even money favourites. He lies on, and Vernon talking about Vernon. They're tipping this ball at Vernon's. He might go out round the back, and he's left Higginbottom too.
Higginbottom 15, 17.
Pressure swinging round a bit now, Richard.
Well, it looked like a runaway at one stage, and now we've got a real match on our hands.
Yeah, but you know, tons of class. Higginbottom. Both these men are players of high calibre, but Higginbottom's a remarkable string of big handicap wins to his credit. Plays almost every day and every night, I think. But a great player, and now he's got his length now and started to plant them a little bit near. Vernon has got to find good balls. Although he's in front, crowd urging this ball on. It's smack on the road, but short.
Certainly a match that the crowd can warm to at this stage.
He nearly knocks it in. Almost a disaster there for Higginbottom. Played up to get another, ran bang into Vernon's ball, knocked it about 14 inches, but unfortunately didn't quite make it. This ball is cocking away on the top side. Could win it with a perfect length, but it's just gone away. Higginbottom now 16, Vernon 17.
Higginbottom 16, 17.
Which goes to prove that you shouldn't make any decisions or predictions too early in this game of Crown Green.
Well, there'd have been one or two sharp lads here today that have dived in. I've heard Higginbottom called 2-1. Started the heat at even money. You know, but it's gone now. They won't get it back if he goes in front. If he counts a double at this end, you'll see the odds shot. He'll start going odds on. But this man Vernon he's left himself in with a chance yet, Vernon. Very good player.
There he is, there's Len Vernon, the man facing the pressure now. Looked a winner. With a different complexion on the game at this stage.
I know that all the people in Cheshire around Winsford area, you know, where he's an extremely well-known, popular fellow. He's a maintenance planner at Associated Octal Works at Northwich. I know that they'll be all rooting for him, but he's made a brilliant start here. But now Higginbottom's come back very strongly, got him under some sort of pressure. Got to run, get between the gap, run to the jack now, found one. Good ball. Vernon might have a crack at this ball. Played fast. Fast, Higginbottom trying to keep it out. It's not a mile away. A chance, this ball for me. He's done it. What a brilliant ball there from Vernon.
Len Vernon, the man now giving this very large and enthusiastic crowd their money's worth, without a doubt.
Well, a brilliant ball that. Turned the game upside down now. Higginbottom looking very likely to count a single, to go level the match after being a mile at the back, and Vernon digs one out, a real smoker. Chips the side ball out and makes a double. Brilliant ball there from Len Vernon. Again, back on the short stuff, looking to make a good lead. He's cocking away, but it's roundabout. Wants a good ball to beat it. Don't forget that Vernon only wants 2 to win the match. He's 19, 21, and Higginbottom really got to prove his salt here. Just stuck round the back. Not won it. Vernon, the crowd urging this ball to Way. Don't hit the jack. He lies game. Favourite Higginbottom here could well be out. It's Len Vernon from Winsford. Lies game. You'll hear the crowd pick this ball up. Misses all. Saved one. Oh, Higginbottom collided with the end there, and very, very fortunate the balls fell right for him.
20.
Still in the match.
16.
Now Len Vernon just 1 point off making his first ever appearance in this Waterloo Final. Great event, really, for him and his life. Four chalks in front, looking for a good lead. Drifts a little bit by. Higginbottom now fighting for his life. He's almost out of the sweep. Got a run to win. Could well have fell out. Referee Joe Rawcliffe still likes Vernon's ball. Crowd knowing he's travelling. Lies game. Once again, Higginbottom poised to go out of the sweep. You'll hear the crowd pick this ball up and see if it's any sort of a chance. And it's won it. He's found one. Good ball from Higginbottom. Just can't get this ball to lie down.
17-20.
Higginbottom needs two doubles here to get out. A 2-19 and two more 21 would take him out, whereas Glenn Vernon, his opponent from Cheshire, just wants that magical single. Again, Higginbottom got away with it, made a bad lead, and Vernon short, but there's still plenty of room. Higginbottom looking to play another near ball here. He knows that he's in trouble. He's got to pass these balls. Well, Vernon now got a great chance to get up here. He's got a yard at the front, a yard through at the back of the jack to weigh in. Listen, the crowd condemn this ball, and Higgy's out. It's won it, this ball, can't lose. He's weighed in. Glenn Vernon defeated the favourite, Len Higginbottom from Lancashire. Vernon goes through into the final, 21-17. It's a wonderful game. With Vernon making all the running, almost getting caught, and then Higginbottom just fading a little at the finish. But this man Vernon kept at it. Found the winning wood. There's Higginbottom now, the Fab, deposed Fab now. They'll have to have a bit of a rethink now, the betting boys here at Blackpool. Higginbottom shaking his head. I don't think he can believe it. He's not played as well as he knows he can, although we mustn't take any credit away from Vernon, who said about this match as though he was really going to go in. And now he's just come and sneaked a place in the final by beating Higginbottom 21-17.
Well, that's setting the standard for the sort of competition that we hope to see during the afternoon. An upset straight away. The favourite for the Waterloo this year, at least in the semi-finals, Len Higginbottom, losing in a desperate rearguard action to Glenn Vernon. What a marvellous performance by Glenn Vernon. But you feel sympathy for Len Higginbottom because defeat in the semi-finals is something that every sportsman dreads, and one sportsman, one bowls player who knows more than that about most is Mike Leach, because Mike, you've lost in the semi-finals how many times?
I lost twice, 1977 and 1978. Once very dramatically, really, at 20 all when I struck, and finished up knocking my own wood off as well, and just going out there.
Now, they say in just about every sport that losing in the semi-final is the most bitter kind of a defeat. Is that right?
Well, there's no easy round to lose in, especially in this tournament. If I had to pick a round that I would like to lose in least, it would be actually the last 16, the round before the final day. Because once you get in the final day, you've been here, you've sampled the atmosphere, and it's a marvellous experience in itself. To be picked just before you get to the final day is very heartbreaking.
But is losing in the semi-final, would you think, even more bitter than losing in the final?
In many ways, yes, because once you've been in the final, everybody knows you've been in the final of the Waterloo, and just to go out the round before is it's not easy to take.
So what did you think of that game that we've just seen? I thought it was a really absorbing game.
I think that's been a very, very good game of bowls. The pressure's been on from the start for Len Higginbottom, the favourite, and my heart goes out to him because he's fought back from a long way behind, got to very close to catching Vernon, and then Vernon's just played a wonderful wood, I think at 17-16 to make 2, and that's just put it away from Len again.
And I think that we can now have a look at that very important stage in the game when the pressure in some ways was back on Vernon, the eventual winner.
Oh yes.
Again, I've heard Higginbottom called 2-1. Started the heat at even money. You know, but it's gone now. They won't get it back if he goes in front. If he counts a double at this end, you'll see the odd shot. He'll start going on top. But this man Vernon he's left himself in with a chance yet, Vernon. Very good player.
There he is, there's Vernon, the man facing the pressure now. Look to winner. With a different complexion on the game at this stage.
I know that all the people in Cheshire around Winsford area, you know, where he's an extremely well-known, popular fellow. He's a maintenance planner at Associated Octal Works at Northwich. I know that they'll be all rooting for him, but he's made a brilliant start here. But now Higginbottom's come back very strongly, got him under some sort of pressure. Got to run, get between the gap, run to the jack now, found one. Good ball. Vernon might have a crack at this ball. Played fast. Fast Higginbottom trying to keep it out. It's not a mile away. A chance, this ball for me. He's done it. What a brilliant ball there.
And there's the man who did it, Vernon. Glenn, many congratulations, first man through to the final. It looked at one stage almost like a runaway victory for you, but turned in the end.
Well, you can never give Len up anyway, so it always... but he came back well. But they never let him get it set in corner, really. That was the...
You were playing short marks, or it seemed to be short marks, about 30 yards all the time. Tactics, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. But in the middle of the green, as near as possible to the middle of the green, so to stop Len getting into the corners. Because, of course, you saw what he did when he did get set.
Did you expect Len to come back in the way that he did? Because it started to get very close.
Oh, I always expected if he had a run in corners, there was going to be have a fight on there. But just managed to produce that wood at the right time and stop it.
Because I'm sure, as you remember, there was a point in the game when you were, what, 12-17 in front. And it looked at that stage very promising for you. The bookmakers were changing their minds. The crowd were really warming to the game. We can have a look at that point in the game. As I say, you were leading 12-17. So then, presumably, you were very confident.
Well, I'm just trying to pick it up while I did it.
That's Len Higginbottom's lead.
Is that what, this is at 12-17?
This is 12-17 to you,
Yeah. So, well, I've got to get this off him, you know.
Now, this really was a perfect reply.
Yeah, it was. So I'm doing that. I've done exactly what I want to do. Get it back straight away. Because he produces this.
A couple of times, of course, during the game, Len there had to have a strike twice. He was successful once, wasn't successful. He was successful the second time, but not the first time.
Yeah. Well, I was probably playing him too close then.
Did you feel then that you'd got him on the run?
I thought he was going a bit early on, but he come back. He came back well. Because that was a wonderful ball under pressure, because he was under very immense pressure there at that stage.
And then, of course, right at the end of the game, we still had to wait longer than perhaps we'd thought to get the decision.
Yeah, that's right. I felt I'd get out, but it was just a matter of time, and of course I managed to produce that one. Probably that ball that Len played was too good a ball, really, because I'd only got to follow it in and be hard enough, and I'd make 2. And then we just finished it at the end with, you know, I mean, I managed to get in here at the last end and clinch it.
Presumably, Mike Lynch, you're a little envious of this man having got through to the final.
Oh, I think so. I'm sure there are a few thousand people watching today who are envious of Vernon, yes, for being in the final. And especially the way he's played. He's played exceptionally well. When the pressure was on, he was able to produce the wood. And then another good wood at the end, because Len Higginbottom's woods at the what turned out to be the last end were not bad woods. If Len had gone under pressure, he'd have been out probably then.
Hey, I'll tell you what, he kept us all really on tenterhooks, because this is the final end that we can have a look at now. Yeah. And there it is.
Well, Len makes a lead here. I think perhaps plays about a yard short.
I was trying to get that first ball in, but I dropped it short. But
you were presumably anxious at that stage to get it over with, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes, now.
But he gave me a bit of room, really. I should have filled it in probably, but you don't intend to, do you, Mike?
Well, I think the thing is here, Glyn, not having beaten it with the first wood, put an awful lot of pressure on himself, because Len comes up with his second and gets another, and then he's lying to be 19-20.
And that's the concentration on the face of Len Higginbottom, who could see probably defeat staring him in the face, although he'd not given up.
No, he's a very hungry player, is Len. He won't give up till the very last end. He changes his peg, of course, doesn't he, Len, here, which helps you to follow him. But Len had to change his peg for fear of knocking you in.
Yeah. This is the one, Glyn, that you'll remember for a long time.
Yeah, well, a bit more yet.
That's it. Mike Leach said when that was on its way, he said he'd won it, and it wasn't halfway across the green, but he said that, didn't he?
Yes, I think I could tip that as winning.
And you've got a bit of a financial interest, haven't you, in that match?
Well, I perhaps shouldn't say that while Glyn's here, but I did feel that he was worth a bet, shall we put it that way.
Yeah. So contrary to what a lot of people did, they backed Len Higginbottom, who was the favourite when they started. You didn't, did you?
No, I backed Glyn halfway through his quarter-final. I thought he was playing as consistently as anybody. And I've seen him in the earlier rounds. I think he's playing exceptionally well.
Glyn, do the conditions suit you?
I can feel I'm feeling the balls well on it. I can feel I can put a yard in and take a yard, and I can feel them there. And if you're not feeling your wood, you waste your time. But I've played it well every time I've come, and the weather's always suited me. Really, it's always been in nice conditions. Just windy one day, and I got through. But the green's nice. Yes.
What about the crowd? Are they responding to you, do you think?
Well, I think there's quite a few people that know me, local people, and maybe shouting for the underdog as well.
Any comments in the crowd as you go around?
Well, you don't take much notice, really.
Right.
You don't listen to that, do you, Mike?
So we can now get on to congratulations again, Glyn, and we can move on now to the second semi-final, which hopefully will be just as exciting a game. The competitors in the second semi-final, so as not to confuse you, that was Glyn Vernon who won the first. Vernon Lee is the man in the second semi-final. He's from Blackburn, a local man, although formerly from Oldham. He's been a professional bowler for 17 years, although now he's got a boarding house here in Blackpool. And he won his first sweep, by the way, at the age of 13. His opponent is Frank Kitchen, a man from St Helens who made his name in a very different kind of sport, made his name in rugby league. He's got a World Cup winners medal. So, the second semi-final in the Waterloo Handicap, Vernon Lee from Blackpool against Frank Kitchen from St Helens. The commentator once again, Harry Rigby.
I get the two contestants now. Vernon Lee there with the number 3 on his back. Lives in Blackpool, but he's formerly from Oldham in Lancashire. He's an Oldham lad, as they say around here. Just adjusts his cap and his opponent. There's, number 8, who's won the Jack and sets the first mark, Frank Kitchen. Plays for the Vine Club at Widnes. Frank used to play rugby league with Lee and also was capped for England and the Great Britain side in rugby. There's Vernon, the lively Badger Lee, as he's known, because he played on the professional circuit for 17 years. Always been highly rated. This sweep hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Vernon in the past, but you'll see as the game proceeds, the crowd warm to this man Lee, and also Frank Kitchen there, number 8. Both two real rare Lancashire characters. And Lee strikes with the first ball again and spins round. Sometimes he breaks into what's known as his come dancing act. Perhaps you may see that a little later. Going back to pick up the mat, that's a job he's never liked. I don't think anybody has that plays bowls, because it signifies that you're not doing much winning if you keep carrying that about. So now Lee is 2 behind. They both start off 5, and Frank Kitchen pegs a double at the first end, which gives him a 2-chalk advantage. So Kitchen now setting the first mark, getting a double that takes him to 7 against Vernon Lee's 5. 21 up this game. 21 up. The winner needs 21 to have the privilege of joining Glen Vernon of Winsford in the final. There's Lee now hurrying about. Watch him wave these bells on. He dodge about, trying to get it bending over. Can't get any more out of it. It's only a lump of wood. Won't take any notice. It's Frank Kitchen, very determined character. Frank, he's played really well in this tournament. All through the rounds, people have said how Frank Kitchen stepped his game up. And now he's here in the semi-final. Made a good start with a double at the first end, and Lee now with a good ball to beat. After it, Vernon, hurrying, scurrying, getting down, trying to play this ball out. He's not a mile off, just gone round the back.
Kitchen 8-5.
Another Kitchen down. Nice easy style, Frank. Very keen. You know, he's a great contemporary with Harry Pennington, you know, who's a great player, and they pal around together. Harry's much the senior by age, but they still enjoy themselves around the big handicaps. And no, I don't think there'd be a more popular victor here than Kitchen, although, come to think of it, everybody wants Vernon to win something as well here, Richard. So we'll just have to see. He's away, Bernard. He's doing a bit of a dance round the balls.
Frank Kitchen looks as though he didn't notice the nimble footwork of Vernon Lee.
Got to get this ball past. It's won it.
Keep watching, Ralph, I'll talk. How long before these come off? Roughly. And then it's the final after.
It's Vernon Lee, and that's what he's got to beat. He's trying everything, but well, that still looks as though it stands to Frank Kitchen.
Number 8 there, Frank Kitchen, who plays for the Vine Club. Used to play a different game with the oval ball with distinction. Played with Lee actually for about 7 years, Richard.
Wearing number 8, Harry. I don't think he was ever a prop forward, was he?
No, no, but he enjoyed his rugby league days. He was telling me he enjoyed them immensely. Fond memories, and now he's taken balls up, become a very good player at bowls, made many friends, and still retains, you know, quite a few connections. I saw Alec Murphy around today before I came up. Alec remembered him with some affection. Well, he didn't quite say affection, but you know what the rugby lads are.
Proving the old adage that if you're good at one ball game, the chances are that you're fairly proficient at the others.
Well, it seems to follow that people who are good sportsmen at ball games. There's Lee, watch him get after this ball. Trying to coax it round to peg on top, and he's just gone round the back. Good bowling, this. Lee was 17 years a professional. He played with the great players, the Jimmy Cunliffes and the Duncans and the Neil Norrises, played on the panel. You know, and the panel was a great institution in those days, I think. Some great players. Lee himself has always acknowledged that Duncan was a super player. He struck at this end and hit the jack. Nullified the end. Doesn't mess about.
So Vernon Lee sent the jack straight into the bin. Looks as though he's enjoying this game, even though he's 4 chalks adrift.
That's one thing he's always done, Richard. Enjoyed it to the full. People have been known to come miles to watch this man play bowls. He once played at the Martin Institute, which is in Blackpool. They got a packed house and he gave them a delightful display, and from then he picked up the title of Come Dancing, which he did, of course. He danced every ball in and was pirouetted and jumped about, and he might easily start doing it today, although it's a really big occasion, but it doesn't seem to bother Vernon, or Badger, as he's known more affectionately to the people who know him well on the bowls circuit. Kitchen's having no truck about characters and what you can do. You've got to send balls to beat this man, Kitchen. And Lee's played a snowball and he's given it up. He doesn't like it one little bit. Oh, the crowd condemning that ball of Kitchen's. They're very, very quick here to spot whether a ball's short or too far, or if it's ailing. They condemn it immediately.
And what's Vernon Lee going to do to try and retrieve the situation?
He's got a bit of a chance if he runs the jack. Gone through the gap and gone out.
So we'll count that end, Harry, and it makes it 10-5 in Frank Kitchen's favour. That's Vernon Lee, the man the big crowd all want to see. They want to see the fancy footwork that I'm told he usually produces when he's winning. He's not too keen on it when he's losing.
Well, I don't know. See, he'll jump about a bit, I think, Vernon, but it's at the moment he's got to keep his head and just try and grab Kitchen before he gets too far in front. I mean, he's leading 10-5 now, Kitchen. It's only 21 up. And he can't let him have too many more chalks, otherwise he'll have a mountain to climb and he'll be out of the sweep before he knows where he is. He's played one this time, Lee, just round the back, counting ball about 18 inches past. Kitchen now got to improve on his first wood. There he goes, number 8. Frank Kitchen from St Helens. Played far enough, rubbed the jack, but it's broke against him. He's picked the jack up half ball, gone past Lee's ball. Now Lee stands to peg his first chalk at this semi-final of this Waterloo sweepstake. Don't forget that they're playing for a lot of money. You get a first prize of £1,500 for the winner and a second prize of £700 for the runner-up.
And also the prestige, because a Waterloo champion is a man of considerable distinction.
There he goes, just had a bit quick crossover there and pegged a double now. Just beginning to get the boiler house for it.
So Vernon Lee with a smile means he's a happier man off the mark. Standing at 10-7.
Well, if Lee wins this, Richard, you'll see the come dancing act. He can finish up with an excuse me foxtrot and a double scissors and the way off the green and into the final. But Kitchen might have a few balls to put down first before Lee has his way and gets into this final.
Well, that shake of the head told its own story. Vernon Lee was unhappy with that lead.
Too strong. Kitchen's been showing good control over a long way. You know, he's not been throwing them about on these long marks. He's still away short, but it's one. Listen to the crowd. Pick this ball up. The big cheer. They know very well it won't get there. And Lee's played 2 real bad balls here. He keeps playing them sort. Nothing down for him at all. He'll have to go. Kitchen, every chance of pegging a double here.
Yes, Frank Kitchen ought to count 2, certainly. Ought to count 2, which would give him an impressive lead.
Give it a lift, Lee. He knows it'll count another. Just give it a little helping hand there to get it up to the jack. Conceded the end before the ball stopped running. 2 more to Kitchen.
Kitchen 12, 7.
Standing now in favour of Frank Kitchen, the man from St Helens, 12-7. There's Frank Kitchen, set the mark.
On he goes, Frank. Been quoted about as some very liberal odds on this lad. Kitchen, they were so strongly fancied Higginbottom and Vernon Lee, who you see here now. The busy Vernon galloping up, urging this ball on, crossed over it there.
Now, what do the rules say about that, Harry?
Well, I don't think you'd better mention that, Vernon, at this stage, Richard. Although the Waterloo sweep is, you know, they like to be pretty liberal in their assessment about things. He's found one here. It's just gone. A really good ball there from Kitchen. Very nearly won the end back. But they have slightly different rules at the Waterloo than they do on the British Crown Green. There's not a lot of difference. I think that in time they could well have complete uniformity. Perhaps they will, I think so. But the Waterloo has a great tradition, you know, and harks back to a lot of the old Lancashire ways of having a bet and having a wager and bringing a bit of character. And I think people like Lee and Kitchen and Higginbottom, they're true Lancashire men, and they inherit a lot of these things, Richard.
So Vernon Lee in the somewhat unaccustomed position of setting the mark this time. Trailing by 4 chalks.
Crowd again got on this one. They know it's gone. It's off the green.
Off the green.
Kitchen got to be careful here. He'll not send it off. Better short of the jack, even if it's a mile away. He's got to pass it to win. Anything can happen. Oh, then Lee's down with this, urging it on. It's got to miss. It's got to miss that ball of Kitchen's. And he's done it, just got inside. Played a fair ball there.
No,
big yard shot. Is this any chance? Clear running. On to Kitchen. Very good ball. Only about 3 inches off the jack there, Richard. Just glided nicely past Lee's short ball.
13-8.
Yes, in the circumstances, that was a magnificent wood from Frank Kitchen. Takes over the position he's been in for most of this game. The advantage of setting the mark. Frank Kitchen leading 13-8 against Vernon Lee in this second semi-final of the Waterloo Handicap.
Good lead there from Kitchen. Very close. Lee, number 3. Vernon Lee. Played at the end and just missed the jack and gone by. Going back to the mat. There's another Lancashire man here. Frank Kitchen. The crowd have roundly condemned that ball. They know it's nowhere near far enough. It might be in the road a little bit, but Lee just did a dummy
somewhere else.
Yeah, he just did a dummy run there, but he elected to play off the mat.
This is travelling, Harry.
Done it. 2 to Lee. Good ball. Played through at the end. Kitchen left the gate open, and Lee, quick to seize the opportunity, produced a super ball, ran the jack for a double.
13.
Well, perhaps desperate measures from Vernon Lee, but desperately successful measures because they give him a couple. Lifts him well back into the game at 13-10.
You see the difference, Richard, in people that have played a lot of good pro balls and for a few bob over the years and always been a good player. He didn't have to do any sort of survey job on that. He picked it up right away. Played the right ball without thinking about it, you know, no second thoughts, bang. If it misses hard lines, we'll try and extend and get in, but it was there, picked the jack up, and off he goes now, into the corners. I think he's got a problem with Kitchen in these corners. Kitchen has played, saying he just whipped over it. Beautiful footwork there from Vernon Lee. Could finish up in the next World Cup squad, I think, Richard, if he keeps playing like this. Waving this ball on, but they know it's no chance. There, even Lee has a bit of a trot after that one.
Yes, Frank Kitchen's got to contend with Vernon Lee's showmanship. Vernon Lee, one of the few bowlers who seems to follow his opponent's woods as well as his own.
Well, somebody said that there was a paper bag blew across the green once in Lancashire, and Vernon got half a mile down the road after it before he found out it wasn't a wood. They brought him back. Well,
I wonder what he's like as a spectator.
Oh, he's a great character, this bloke. He enjoys it, you see, very much, and he's revelling in this situation. It wouldn't affect his bowling so much. He's got to reach up, Kitchen, because he stands one on here, Lee, and he's not a mile away with this ball. He's done it nearly. Oh, he's half-turned it. That was a brilliant ball there from Kitchen.
But it didn't prevent Vernon Lee from counting one, winning the end. 13-11 the difference.
That's how games sometimes are won and lost. He just half-turned that ball. If he'd have caught it full on and tippled it over, he'd have certainly counted the end. But Lee breathed again, sneaked another single. What a difference it makes, Richard, if the rubs go the right way. Good played ball from Kitchen, but didn't quite come off. Good ball. He's wrapped the jack, half ball, cast away to the right, but it's a good wood. It's only about 2.5 yards from the edge of the green. But Kitchen plays this corner very, very well, and Lee might be buying a bit of trouble coming down here. But unfortunately, Kitchen's bang on the road but short. There you see the ball dying. Lee racing after this ball. He'd get right near it, he'd wave it on, he'd wait for it coming, give it another one, urge it through, and cross, and another. Gets it a length. Is this no chance? Hey up, it wins for me. Kitchen, what a ball. Brilliant one. Oh, the crowd really enjoyed that. Frank just flips the mat down, glad to get rid of it.
Frank Kitchen not to be disturbed by Vernon Lee's tactics, by his showmanship. Playing steadily, leading 14-11.
Them's the sort of balls that win you the championships, Richard. You see that, you know, didn't he play 2 good balls there, Lee, and Kitchen stood on the mat, lonely place, 1 ball to play, and plumps it right in the middle to count the end. Brilliant ball. Here's Lee waiting for it coming, trying to get it round. Got to be stopping to win. Referee's just given Vernon Lee a little bit of bad news there. He thinks his ball has gone through and Kitchen is still on. Kitchen's played short. Has Lee got to find one here? Turned his peg, played on the bottom side and smack on the road. Got to pick the jack up, and he's done it. What a good ball from Lee, brilliant. Came in the other peg on the bottom side and just tippled the jack down the hill. Excellent wood there from Vernon Lee. Just coming back here to pick up the mat. He's going to get rid of it now and give it back to Frank Kitchen. But the game now finally poised.
Vernon Lee sets the mark, and he's only 1 chalk adrift in this game.
Just heard a long cry from the crowd there. Even money, Lee. They're obviously thinking this man's got a bit of a chance, and he does the fancy steps, and he's pushing that ball up to the block. Oh, what a great showman this man, Lee. Frank not to be outdone after this ball. crowd shouting, way, way. They know it's short. Just wobbled over and lay down. Vernon Lee down again. Badger Lee, as he's known. There he goes. Watch him get up to this ball in a minute. Go on, Vernon. Get alongside it. Wave it in. Pass your own and give it one. Oh, two brilliant woods. He's one about an inch off the jack and one about 18 inches away. Struck Kitchen. Fired one at it. It's cracked them off. Double to Lee.
And that means that for the first time in this second semi-final, Vernon Lee goes into the lead. One chalk in front of Frank Kitchen. Now they're going down the side of the green, Harry. It's in the bin. It's not. It is.
Just stuck.
Oh, there he is, hanging on by a blade of grass, that Jack. Frank Kitchen waiting while the various bits and pieces of apparatus are removed from the gutter.
He's got to be stopping this ball, else it'll go. And it's give up. Very awkward piece of land, this, Richard. He's elected to try and pinch a few chalks, Lee. He's using all his expertise that he's learned over the years with the pros, playing along the edges of the green, round the backside. Watch him kneel that ball in and wave it on. The jack's poised right on the edge of the green. I think if Joe Rawcliffe, the referee, sneezes, I think that jack will fall off. There's just no chance. It's only won it. What a good ball from Kitchen. Brilliant ball there from Kitchen on a very, very difficult piece of land. Can't be overplayed and stops Lee from counting a double. Now it's 15 across. Great match this. Think that this ball might go off. If it stays on, it'll be a marvellous ball. It's just gone. Oh, unfortunate there for Frank Kitchen. And Lee's now flying over the screen. He used to play football, Richard. He was a fair player his time, you know. I think he's played a bit of pro football as well. Kitchen trying to be far enough. He's got to be far enough with this ball. The crowd making some funny noises again. They're wondering whether he can miss that ball of Lee's. And he's hit it and knocked it off as he won off it. Well, the two balls there looking a bit lonely. They're well away from the jack. There's been a bit of a collision.
Whatever the situation is there's only Vernon Lee can change it.
There's Lee going back to the mat now. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes him. He's a quick player, Vernon. Down and away with the ball. The crowd will pick this up. They'll know how far it's going. He's played a stinker. Won't be far enough. Got a run and he's counted one. I felt certain that Lee would have gone for a double there. It was a vital chalk.
50.
Well, a past experience, Vernon Lee usually gets them in twos. That's the third time he's taken an end by the odd one. It puts him back in front for the second time in this game, 16-15.
Yes, he might have cause to regret that, Richard, in a later stage, and a few more ends have gone. He badly need that chalk. He could have got another one there. There was tons of room. Hear the crowd shout, run away. They know it won't get there. Well short. I think Lee might elect to come along this end again afterwards, Richard. Even though Kitchen got in at that end, I think he's got confidence to count a few chalks along the edge to see whether they'll get him out of trouble and book him a place in the final.
Frank Kitchen's complaining about something there by the looks of it.
He's played a bad ball. Well, that was a terrible end.
18-15.
Oh, he's just counted 2 bad balls. Thrown the mat down, Kitchen.
He's not a happy man, Harry, by the looks of it. He's not happy.
No, I don't know what happened there. He seemed to get a bit annoyed with somebody, or whether it was someone in the crowd.